And he says, since our automatic system leads us mostly to deontological judgments, in which we differ a lot, he proposes utilitarianism as this meta-morality or common currency. He uses this term a lot. So common currency, and he believes that these judgments, as they are products of our manual system, of a conscious reasoning, we can all at least understand. They are much more, to put it like this, stable, also stable among different cultures, etc. So this is the first thing. This is important, they are widely shared. Also, what else we at least believes that we all share, this commitment to maximize welfare of ourselves and other people, at least at this very general level, and impartiality. But this is pretty standard things, like a lot of other also very non-empirical or maybe completely rationalist utilitarians would also claim this. Now, this is important. Green uses this term deep pragmatism, and he basically refuses to call it utilitarianism almost. So what he wants is to rebrand it, to put like this. I think that Thomas Nagel says that he tries to rebrand utilitarianism as deep pragmatism. Deep because it refers to our deepest value. So everything is in question, but we try to find the solution to the practical problem. This is why it is pragmatism. Utilitarianism here is merely instrumental. So if you read Green consistently, he would say whatever can function as this meta-morality, this should function as meta-morality. Now this will be important for the objection. Simultaneously, some of the most important objections to utilitarianism, objections from counterintuitiveness, lose at least some of their strength. I would say lose almost all of their strength, because they would simply claim, okay, but this is what is a product of our evolutionary history. This is our automatic system actually at work. If we structure things in this way, we shouldn't have a problem with this. And so it is very important then to conclude about this position of his, that utilitarianism in this theory, in Green's theory, is not moral truth. It's not a theory that other theories can be reduced to, and utilitarian values are not values that you can reduce other values to. Green admits that that might be true, that we can reduce all values to, for example, happiness or welfare, but it might not be true. He admits that there may exist too deep moral pluralism, incommensurability of values, but what is important for him is that we all share the aforementioned utilitarian characteristics, and that at least a lot of our value chains end up in welfare and happiness. So when we ask ourselves, okay, why do we value this? Well, okay, because of this, but why do we value this? And so he says we'll often end up in happiness or welfare. This will be important later on with these conditions. So what he wants, except being shared by everyone, these reasons, is that they are somehow intrinsic and pervasive, that they are somehow in all of, or almost all of our other values. Now these conditions for being part of meta-morality are crucial. Also, you can maybe recognize this, at least it's very interesting to contrast this, to compare this to some theories which start completely differently. For example, Rawlsian theory of political liberalism. But basically I see a lot of similarities at this, let's say, this ending point, because Rawls would say that we have, but Rawls is a bit more normative here, that all reasonable people have and that should have shared reasons. But Green thinks all or almost all people have this as let's say, common ground. And this is what he wants. He wants this common ground. Okay, so a couple of possible problems with this that I would perceive. First, we can say that this is over-inclusive, that even if we would say that Green is right about all his empirical theses, that he's right even about people sharing these utilitarian elements, everything, we accept the premises, but why would we use exactly utilitarianism? This is a more general, it's not about utilitarianism, it's a more general thing. For example, if we have two people with conflicting values, and they have a third value on which they agree, why is it given that the third value will enable them to agree? Like, to put it on a very personal level, if you have, I don't know, let's say, a husband and wife who have two, let's say, I don't know, valuable things that they want to spend their family money on, and they cannot agree on it. But they both like traveling. Should they just go and travel? It doesn't seem to enable them to resolve this conflict. But if you put it to a more impersonal level, also to the comparison between automatic and manual system. Imagine, for example, much more hotly debated topics like, for example, abortion, and imagine you have two positions which are both in a way deontological. One which bases its claims on the right of the child, and the second one which bases on the rights of the mother. Both are rights-based claims, both are in a way this way deontological, and then Green comes and say, well, look, but you both can at least understand utilitarianism, so use utilitarianism to settle your dispute. It doesn't seem that any of them is going to be happy about it. They might be happy out of purely practical reasons, because it will be closer to the starting point, but this is trivial, then they will be happy with anything that is closer to their point. He could use this if he posited utilitarianism as the fundamental or the only true doctrine, because then he could reduce other values to it. But since he admits pluralism, he cannot do this. And we will come back to this in following objections. Basically, his biggest, let's say, strength of his theory, which is this pragmatism and this denouncement of moral truth, actually leads to these problems. However, we can also say that this theory is under-inclusive, and that it is a bit too narrow. Because we can ask ourselves, okay, even if, again, everything what Green says descriptively is true, why would this meta-morality contain only utilitarian elements? So, and here we come back to these conditions. So, manual system produces more uniform or shared judgments, and happiness is an intrinsic and pervasive value. Okay, so these are the conditions. However, it seems, at least to me, that there are other values which satisfy these conditions. And some of them are strongly deontological. For example, merit. You know, like people deserving things. It seems even more deeply grounded than some of the utilitarian values that he mentions. And they're very pervasive. We use notions of merit, and we ask ourselves what people deserve in family life, in our personal life, in our political life, in our work. We ask ourselves these questions everywhere. And it seems we all share these questions. I mean, just share these elements, and just imagine how for example, our moral dispositions change in relation to the background. For example, when we hear about criminal acts. This works very well in law, for example. For example, we have a person who has done something which we perceive is wrong, but then, for example, okay, we can see that his objective circumstances have, in a way, led him to it. So this changes our conception of what do these people actually deserve as, okay, in this case, punishment, but it can also be reward, etc. So, what can Green say about this? Why shouldn't we include the notion of merit? I mean, it has philosophical problems, not to go into this, but when we speak about ordinary life, like we go in the world and we see how people are, because this is what Green does, it's bottom-up theory, no reason to eliminate it. He could say that it's just a part of our automatic system, but he never says that it cannot be a part of the automatic system in this meta-morality, and this would be circular. And this is important for the third objection, which is actually the way he differentiates and treats differently non-inferential judgments. At least I think they are non-inferential. This follows the previous objection, and Green never explicitly says this, because, as I said, it would be in a way a huge deficit of the theory if he did this so explicitly. He said, no, we just reject automatic conclusions, results of the automatic system. No, but it is somehow heavily implied, and his distrust of the conclusions and the outcomes of this automatic intuitive reasoning are heavily implied, although he will say, for example, you can just go, since this is a pragmatic theory, you can just go about your daily life and use this automatic automatic system, no problem, just use it, as long as it works. But when there is a moral conflict, some kind of doubts, some people challenging your opinion, and then you have to shift into manual mode. And this is where he is very distrustful of it. But we can ask, why? If we similarly share elements of both, we can ask this person, like, okay, why are you so distrustful? So he could say, but automatic products of this system are non-inferentially justified. While this other system is manual, is conscious, we do serious moral reasoning, and so it is justified inferentially. However, yes, in a way it is in relation to the previous step, but here he runs into a very basic problem of regress, which for him happens very soon. For example, when you ask people to justify principle of maximizing happiness or partiality, what about this? How are you going to justify it? He does not justify it. He just says we all share it. Okay, but we all share merit as well. So no way around it. Seligberger will offer, for example, in his interpretation that Green here he will explore several possibilities, like how Green actually thinks he can prove to us that we should be more reliant